What's up guys, duarktikhq here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and we have a very exciting video today. We have the first look at the kit of Morgan Le Fay, and we have some very important callouts that we need to pay attention to that might motivate you to invest on certain characters and stop investing on other characters, because she's gonna change the meta going forward into the game. Okay, so let's take a look at her and her kit. She's the new Horseman of the Apocalypse, Morgan Le Fay, and she's going to be part of the newly formed Darkhold team, which consists of Scarlet Witch, Morgan Le Fay herself, and 3 new characters, which I will assume one of these characters is going to be the Dark Doctor Strange that we saw in the past. As they mentioned before, each of these horsemen are going to be extremely powerful in one specific game mode. And Morgan Le Fay, she's going to be extremely powerful on Arena. So RIP Eternals, all those people that invested 7 yellow stars and 7 red stars on Icarus and Cersei, well, your time is over, and now move along because it's time for Morgan Le Fay. Okay, so we have some background history on her, then we have some mentions about what she's supposed to do. Morgan Le Fay joins the newly formed Darkhold team as a legendary controller with high health and high damage. Her mystical abilities not only will boost the Darkhold allies, but also specialize in punish controller enemies. Some of the controller enemies that we have already in the meta of the arena, we have Baron Zemo, we have Emma Frost, we have Omega Red, and we also have Cersei. So 4 very powerful characters that dominate the arena right now that will be completely countered by Morgan Le Fay. And on top of that, they mentioned that pay attention to characters with high speed, because they will help her, and we'll understand soon why this is the case. And one character that is not Darkhold and might be relevant here is Dr. Voodoo, because he gets additional speed in case he's able to steal death proof from the enemies. He goes from 120% speed to 150, and that's something that we need to take into consideration because it might become useful down the line. Okay, so let's take a look at her kit. Very exciting kit, very powerful, and a lot of things that we need to take into consideration. So she's a villain, global, Missy controller, Darkhold, Horseman, and legendary. So for her basic, she has Soul Siphon, attack the primary target for 350% damage, clears and copies 2 positive effects excluding taunt. So very powerful. On crit, instead copy and clear all positive effects. So very powerful. We have a call out for crit, so we have to take into consideration, is she going to be a raider, is she going to be a striker, is she going to be a skirmisher? That's things that we have to take into consideration. Then we have still 10% of the health of the primary target and give to herself. So we have a combination of the basic of Cersei plus the basic of Omega Red. So you can imagine how powerful this character is going to be. Okay, so now we have her special, and let's take a look first at her ultimate, because without taking a look at her ultimate, the special is a little bit hard to understand. Okay, so ultimate, we have Reality Break. This is a turn 1 ability. Costs 4 energy and comes full. Clear immunity from the primary target. Attack the primary target and adjacent target for piercing damage. This attack has 50% crit chance, so once again we have a mission for crit. Apply Disrupt and Slow to the primary target. Spread all negative effects from the primary target and adjacent targets. This will not spread stun or ability block. So we are applying Slow and Disrupt to adjacent enemies, which is going to be very powerful. Once again, this is a turn 1 ability. Now, apply Trauma and Ability Block to all controller enemies. Cersei, Emma Frost, Omega Red, Zemo, very powerful. Flip 2 positive effects into negative effects on non-controller enemies. This includes the likes of Icarus, right? He's non-controller, and he has a bunch of positive effects on spawn. Reduce the speed bar of all enemies who do not have any negative effects by 30%. So the characters that were not affected by the slows will get the turn rewind by 30%, which is quite good. Now let's go back to our special. So after we apply the slow and the turn rewind to the enemies, we have this second turn ability. Costs 6 energy, comes with 4. Reduces the speed bar of self, all allies and all enemies by 100%. Keep in mind that some of the enemies might have slow, especially if Scarlet Witch extended the negative effects that they have on the first turn. Clear all positive effects from the enemies, removing all the speed ups that they might have. Clear all the negative effects from self, which might include slow. Heal self for 100% max health, and then deal 10% of the max health as damage to all enemies. Maybe this is gonna be a lot of damage in case she has like really high health, otherwise it will be a mid-range ability in terms of damage. Apply speed up for 2 turns and immunity to self and all Darkhold allies. The speed up is going to guarantee that you'll go way faster than the enemy characters, especially after that turn rewind, and the immunity will stop characters like Emma Frost of applying a slow to you. Very powerful, and this attack cannot be blocked. So as you can see, we have a combination of attacks that will slow the enemies, turn rewind the enemies, and then we are going to turn rewind by 100%, clear everything from them, and boost our speed, so we'll go way faster than them. This is very similar to the flip of Thanos, but instead of flipping the positive effects, we are flipping the turn bar, and this is some crazy mechanic that will definitely be very useful, not only in Arena but in other game modes, making it extremely powerful. I can definitely see this being useful in raids, Dark Dimension, and everywhere in the game. Okay, so already take a look at our ultimate. Now let's take a look at our passive. On spawn, gain 20% barrier based on this character max health. Now this is only gives to herself. On spawn, apply safeguard for 2 turns for self and Darkhold allies. On spawn, fill the speed bar per mystic enemy, not mystic ally, it is per mystic enemy. So depending on the mystic enemies that the enemies have, will go faster or slower. On enemy turn, fill the speed bar of self and the Darkhold allies by 10%. So if the enemies have fast characters like Zemo, this team will go faster as well. Lower the chance of all enemies assisting by 25% per Darkhold ally to a maximum of 100%. Now this might not be super relevant, because if we go so much faster than the enemies, maybe we are not going to be even affected by this ability. So let's imagine a scenario where we have Ikari, Cersei, Emma Frost, Zemo, and Cable or whatever. We might not need the full team, because if we have like Morgan Le Fay, Emma Frost, Scarlet Witch and Cable or whatever, we might go fast enough that we can do all our abilities without allowing the enemies to even take a turn, which is something very powerful, that will create definitely some good strategies around this. Okay, so yeah, we might not need the full team in order to benefit from this, because if the enemies don't have any turns, there is no point in them assisting. So it's something that we have to wait and see exactly how we are going to execute this new strategy. Then we have 50% max health for her and Darkhold allies. Gain 100% resistance. Darkhold allies gain 100% resistance. Excellent. And in Arena, gain 30% max barrier, and the Darkhold allies gain 20% max barrier. So this means that usually your max barrier is 30% of your max health, and this means that your max barrier will be 60% of your max health. The interesting part is that she does not give barrier beyond the barrier on spawn. So I don't know if this is a call out to use Fortifier or if one of the allies is going to apply a bunch of barrier to this team, but we already know that the Darkhold, they will be the most powerful in arena, so I guess one of the new characters will be the ones giving additional barrier to the entire team. Okay, so that's very powerful. Morgan Le Fay is just a crazy character. The basic is similar to Ikari, to Cersei and Omega Red. Then the special is similar to Thanos, empowered flipping, the special, and the ultimate is all over the place. It's such a powerful ability, I don't even know what to think about it. We have similar abilities like of Omega Red. We have the spread negative effects. Here it's just crazy. We are applying trauma and ability block, so we have a mixture of maybe Jubilee special and Omega Red special as well. Plus the Omega Red ultimate is just such a crazy ability. I don't even know what to think about it, but you'll definitely need some decent red stars on this character. Okay, so that's all about Morgan Le Fay. In terms of other content on the blog post, we have mentioned here that the Scourge event, the first 5 difficulties will have a flexible characters requirement, but the difficulties beyond the 6 will require Web Warriors and Dark Hunters. Now, they say that the gear requirements will include gear tier 19, and you are not supposed to clear this event by 100% on the first pass, and this is something that it's going to roll out over a very long period of time, so that's interesting. But I'm a little bit concerned because maybe it means that the Dark Hunters and Web Warriors will not be farmable anytime soon. So yeah, I guess you still have to get them to gear tier 16 or at least gear tier 15, but in terms of yellow stars and red stars, we might not see any of those coming anytime soon, which is kinda lame AF, but we'll see. But yeah, very exciting stuff in terms of this Scourge event. It's definitely gonna be a challenge, and hopefully we'll be able to unlock her on the first pass. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, start working on your Web Warriors and Dark Hunters. We will take a look in the next video in which are probably the best characters to focus on for this event. So in terms of other events here, we have the Dr. Voodoo event, that now the harder difficulty will be actually hard. Some people said that we'll get some additional shards, but this was not confirmed yet. And then we have a few events based on being the International Women History Month. Okay, so we have bonus shards for all these characters, a bunch of them. Then we have the Alpha Raid Orb being removed from the store soon. Star-Lord T'Challa will be upgraded with promo credits. Then we have Tanado Mike Japan events, which will include a bunch of Blitz events. We'll have the Emma Frost event, we'll have a Moondragon event, and we also have the Noir Heist coming soon and the Relic Flash event. So we also have the Energy Overload. So we all have a bunch of good events going forward, but yeah guys, that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll take a look at the best Dark Hunter and Web Warrior characters where you should invest on in order to be as successful as possible on this new Scourge event. We can have an idea based on the experience from Dark Dimension which characters are going to be the most meaningful, unless there is some kind of crazy restrictions there, which we'll have to wait and see anyway. But we'll just have an idea and you can start hoarding your gear, so after you can press the button. So yeah guys, that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like always, make sure you smash that like button. In the comments below, let me know what you think about the Morgan Le Fay kit. Do you like it? Are you excited about the Darkhold team? Are you sad that the reign of the Eternals is over and all the investment and gold promos that you dropped on these guys is no longer going to pay off? And let me know any additional things that you're upset about in the comments below. And if you found this information helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.